I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
When Kennedy announced we're going to go to the moon and return a man from the moon safely by the end of the decade, that was a thrilling proposition to me. When I came out of college, I had 3 goals. I wanted to do something challenging. I wanted to do something for my country, and I wanted to do it in Texas. I joined IBM in June of '68, 7 days after I graduated from college. I don't think we'd have got to the moon without what IBM did, and I don't think people know that. NASA never built a rocket. NASA never built a spacecraft. NASA never built a computer. They funded it, they managed it, but industry built it. I think industry deserves every bit as much credit as anyone does. And IBM deserves every bit as much credit as any in industry for the space program.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I've probably even talked more about Apollo 13 over the years than I have Apollo 11. Our responsibility was to make sure that the spacecraft was performing as we had hoped it would, and that if it wasn't, then we had lots of work to do. But if you were real good, you could anticipate what you were going to be asked to do before you were even asked to do it. Nothing showed that more than Apollo 13.
As the Apollo 13 was some 205,000 miles from Earth, speeding toward its rendezvous with the moon, the fuel cells that supply it with electrical power suddenly failed.
One of the things we did was a maneuver to get him back a day early. Actually, to get him back alive. A maneuver which, prior to that mission, could not have been computed by the ground system. We put that capability in to the computer for the first time for Apollo 13. And I know that because it was my office mate and I that did that. My office mate was the return to Earth expert. I was the maneuver planning expert. Notice how I became an expert in 19 months, but nevertheless, that's the way things work sometimes. People have asked me, weren't you scared of the fact that they could die? I never thought a whole lot about whether they'd make it back again or not. It was just we were going to do everything we could to get them back. We all were in it together. And we got to see whether a bunch of stuff that we did, that we hoped we'd never use, actually worked when we had to use it. And it did. And a lot of that was done by IBMers. That's my Apollo 13 story, in short.